Football is back. The Chiefs kick off the NFL season against the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is seeking revenge against the Chiefs, and we give our predictions for this epic battle. All this next on Chiefin.
Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Chiefin. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie.
Let's just see that. Let's hope the Chiefs come back and show that they're regular self.
Facts. Go Chiefs. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chiefin. I am your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. How you doing this evening, brother?
Good. Happy to be here to talk some Chiefs football before this season opener. Excited.
Man, we are 2 days away, and we definitely got a lot to talk about on this episode of Chiefin. So, Lonnie, let's just go ahead and get into it. All right, Steele or no Steele. The Chiefs suffer a blow to the running back room with Clyde Edwards-Helaire being placed on a non-football injury list. How comfortable are you having Carson Steele playing running back 2 in the season opener against the Ravens?
Yeah, so I'm very comfortable having Carson Steele play running back 2 against the Ravens. I like what I've seen from Carson Steele in the preseason. His ability to make the first man miss, not let the first man get him down. I think he showed great balance as well on a lot of those runs that we've seen during the preseason. This is a guy. I feel like that he would fit perfectly under the Eric Bieniemy mold. Just as far as just a bigger guy, and like I said, with the ability to not let the first guy bring him down. To quote the great Kareem Hunt said that's what Eric Bieniemy told him when he had his great rushing season. So I just think Carson Steele showed a great ability to break tackles. We know that the Chiefs love guys that have that ability to run hard and break tackles and not be able to not let the first guy bring him down. So I think I like him backing up Pacheco. I'm very comfortable with him backing up Pacheco. I think Clyde is going to be a bigger question looming when he comes back and around the corner. When Clyde decides to when he does get healthy, not decides to get healthy. When Clyde does get healthy, I think the bigger question is going to be, is he going to be able to get that spot back from Carson Steele? Being that Carson Steele is going to be in there, really in there with the stable with the backs, kind of really not leading the room, but backing up the stable. The big back Pacheco, the number one guy. So with him taking those reps away from Clyde and looking like he's going to make a really big impact, I think a bigger question is going to be, is Clyde going to get his spot back? Is Carson going to be too comfortable in Clyde's spot? I think is going to be the bigger question that looms once Clyde returns, whenever he does return.
I am comfortable with having Carson Steele as the running back too. From what I've seen in the preseason, how he runs the ball, he definitely doesn't go down on first contact. We're going to need those in those situations where it's 3rd and 1, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, to where we can keep on extending the drive. I want a back there that can, get that short yards for us. And then also if he has, the tank behind that as well too, and explosiveness to also get into that 2nd level and that 3rd level if he can break one big. And Carson Steele show he can do that. Now, I understand that he, played against some of the backups with the 2nd and 3rd string, but some of those guys are going to be making NFL rosters, if not getting reps in their positions as well too. So we can't really hold that against them. But as long as it carries over into the regular season, I think the entire Chiefs kingdom and even the coaching staff would be satisfied with that. Now, going back to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, just to give a little bit more detail about that, just so we all aware of that. So his is not injury related at all. He is dealing with PTSD from an incident that he dealt with years ago. So he has been working through that and fighting through those demons and trying to get back to, his normal mental state. So I think when having these discussions, even on social media as well, I think all of us in the Chiefs kingdom as fans, we should be mindful of those of what we say on there, because this could be a guy who is dealing with, probably life threatening thoughts, and we don't want to add on to that when he's going through this process. Now, I am going to be honest about this. Carson Steele, it looks like he will get comfortable in that running back two spot, in Clyde Edwards-Helaire spot. And we have to remember that Clyde also lost his spot to a 7th-round rookie, Isaiah Pacheco, as well, too, in the middle of that season. So right now, he is playing with fire in that sense of, maybe when I get back, I'm not going to be that guy that they put in situations where Pacheco needs a break. They're going to be looking at Carson Steele now. And then when you compare the two, I know Isaiah Pacheco, he seems like more of a power back. He likes contact, but he do has some explosiveness and elusiveness as well. So I think we need to, when it comes to that conversation, talking about, oh, we might have two power backs at one, running back one, running back two. I mean, I'll give it past to Pacheco, where he's doing better outside in the receiving game. He's starting to, actually, get off first contact as well too, and get up the field. Well, he been doing that already, but it's looking a lot smoother. So I think in that case, when going into that and thinking about it, I am comfortable with still going in and, playing that role. And we have to remember as well too that we brought in a veteran running back in Samaje Piran as well, who he might not be all the way included into the offense, but he is a veteran who can come in. He learned this. Andy Reid said it as well, that he's getting the playbook down pretty quickly. So I think he will be able to come in those situations where, okay, Pat is of course dropping back in the pocket, but he is a great receiving back as well too, and know how to find an open spot within the offense, get the ball in his hands, and get upfield and get a first down. So we will need that on Thursday against a Ravens defense who is going to be hungry to, come out there, make a statement, and try to, beat the Kansas City Chiefs, because they did lose to them in the AFC Championship game last year.
I think we get caught up in so much football. I got into my take so quick, I didn't get a chance to address the PTSD situation with Clyde. We forget that people are human, and Clyde is a human. And I think he's showing it. He's showing it just like everybody else shows it. This is stuff that people deal with on a daily basis, that people are scared to talk about and come out and speak out, and get help with, and he's has the courage to do that. So, like you said, I think we just need to all take the time as Chiefs Kingdom to kind of dial it back a little bit and temper what we're saying about the situation with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and just keep it at football, and let him get back healthy and in a mental state where he thinks he can perform. This is an organization that has lost players before to mental health situations, so you want to make sure that people are in the right state of mind when they're playing football.
Yeah, and everything you said, Lonnie, was correct. So we just want to put it out there, like, Clyde, we with you. We hope whatever that you're going through during this time, that you're getting the right support. And also, if you need someone to talk to, make sure you find that person as well too, who will have that conversation with you and help you through those hard times as well. Before we get into our next topic, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well too, and comment on our videos as well. Please engage with us. We definitely want to, connect with all of you with Chiefs Kingdom. Give us your thoughts about how you feel about, the games or any type. Also, you can subscribe to our Substack as well too, where we do a daily newsletter, and also we have paid articles that goes out as well too. Rob will be having his Pick Six article come out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that one, or whenever you listen to it, it may be coming out that day as well, so be on the lookout for that. And also, we have merch. We do have merch. Tap in with us, hit me or clean up. Also, that will be in the description in this video as well too, if you're looking to get some Red Kingdom Media shirts, or if you're looking at for any type of merch. But we gotta, put it, get that out there so you all can see how that is before we can actually send it out. But hey, support the channel, support the platform. We definitely appreciate everyone who is supporting right now. So that's it. But just make sure to, tap in with all our social medias, because we definitely is active on there, and we definitely love to engage with Chiefs fans like yourself, which is Lamar's revenge. When Lamar Jackson mentioned to the reporters that every game he plays feel like a revenge game. So pretty much he's out there saying to them that, like, I'm not, I'm not trying to, he basically saying that he's not trying to make this particular game a big deal. He knows his record against Patrick Mahomes and it's not good. So he's going out there with the mentality of like, hey, I'm just trying to win the game like any other game. So that was due in part to the AFC Championship game and his record against Mahomes-led Chiefs being 1-4. How can the champs stop their former MVP and Derrick Henry, who was a Russian champ years ago?
I think they have a tall task against them, being that they beat that one of the best Ravens teams that we've seen in a really long time, almost since post Ray Lewis, for in that on their run to the Super Bowl. But I think the first key to victory that looms for the Chiefs is going to be stopping the run. They face a really tall task now, like you said, with the Russian leader from a couple years ago and an MVP from a couple years ago as well. So I think they have to first stop the run and stop that option portion of the offense. Lamar it's been talked about several times over a lot of media outlets that Lamar has dropped his weight to be able to become more of a running threat. So I think they have to first minimize his legs. And if they can minimize his legs and stop him from running, they can take a little bit of a control of the game. And then another way I think they win the game is stopping Mr. Zay Flowers. I know they have a lot of different weapons over there on that side. Just did a ton of different wide receivers, different guys that can stretch the field. Bateman and still, I don't know if Aguilar is still there, but I think he may still be there. So they have a ton of different guys that can just stretch the field. But I think stopping Zay Flowers is going to be the biggest and tallest task. He kind of ripped us last time we seen him in the AFC Championship. We don't talk about it a lot, but that big play on Snead down the sideline really blew a hole in us. Anytime you can kind of get big plays on the Chiefs, you can kind of take the air out of the defense or take the air out of them a little bit. So I think if we can find a way to minimize Mr. Zay Flowers over the top, that'll be great. And then the last key to victory, I think, is going to be just showing up and scoring points. The Chiefs didn't do that at all last year. And we're going to talk about it, and it's going to be blasted all over everything. We did not win the way that we wanted to win last year. So I think if the Chiefs can come in and figure out a way to score points and be able to be their regular offense, high flying, hit a couple big plays over the top. I don't know how they do it, but if they can do that and score points accordingly, I think the Chiefs will get a win here. But they didn't score a lot of points last year, so I feel like that's just a big ask. But I think those three ways: stopping the run, stopping the deep threat, and scoring some points. I think they find a way to win a ball game against Baltimore.
What they did last year against the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, I think that is a formula to go out there and actually beat that Lamar Jackson led Ravens team. I know that they did add on Derrick Henry, who has given us problems in the past as well too, from regular season games over to the postseason as well too. Typically, usually gets over 60 yards rushing and usually have his way. But I think going in Spags, he will load the box. I think he is going to challenge Lamar Jackson to be a thrower of the football, which most teams, when they go face off against him, and who actually are dominant against him as well too, they usually get the best of him, saying like, hey, go out there and prove to us that you can throw against us and that you can make your receivers play better than our defensive backs. And with what we have right now and not having L'Jarius Sneed anymore, they might be like, let's see what we can do as well too. And I think in certain games, that's where Lamar Jackson fades away against the Chiefs, because it seems like at times he's trying to compete in a throwing matchup against Patrick Mahomes when you need to compete against the defense and find ways to just put points up against them, which they did in that one game on Sunday Night Football a couple years ago, and he got his first win against us. To stop all that, load the box. Make sure you do have some guys over top, because they do have a guy like Zay Flowers who can fly past opposing defenders and get behind your third and second level to score, to get a big catch, and then go beyond that and score a touchdown as well too. You have to watch out for that. Now, I do think a guy like Trip McDuffie will have his way with how aggressive he plays on the line of scrimmage, and also how he attacks how he attacks the ball as well too, when he's stopping those screens or knowing that something, just reading it early on and going towards that. Like, I feel like his IQ is going to put him in place to have a well played game against this team. Now, who's going to be key on the defensive line is Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. We know Lamar Jackson can get outside the pocket. He is a mobile quarterback. He will find ways to really get the first down and score touchdowns with his feet. So with Chris Jones collapsing the inside of that pocket and forcing him to go out, George Karlaftis, who has a motor, this will be his moment to really be on top of that, and then also limit those runs, limit those plays where he make Jackson make a mistake, like we did in the AFC Championship game as well too. When Charles Omenihu, while he was moving up in the pocket, he wasn't watching his surroundings. We end up getting a forced fumble in recovery and was able to, I don't think we put up points on that next drive, but we were able to get them off the field, and then they would have to reset after that as well too. So you just have to really attack that Ravens offense. You're going to have to get in their face, just like their defense. They are down and dirty as well. If you let them have they will go ahead and run with that. You can't give them any hope. They're coming in. Forget the Chiefs being this team that everyone play up to all the time, and everybody always want to beat the reigning Super Bowl champs. This team has, past, how can I say this? They have a history where, they have always lost to us. They coming in with that on their mind. They're going to be like, we don't care about that. This was our chance last year to win a Super Bowl. They're trying to get ahead of the curve as well too. So you got to stop that. You got to step in and be like, no, we're not having that at all. So I say all of that to come to this conclusion, and to come to that, what I said from the beginning: stay on their neck. Do not let them get comfortable. Yes, Derrick Henry might get a 6 or 7 yard gain here and there, but still stay disciplined throughout that drive. Stay ready. Be on point. Do not miss an assignment, because if we can get them off the field quick, that bodes well for our offense going forward, because I think this year the Chiefs offense, they will be able to put up points, but we got to see this in the regular season first. So anything you want to go ahead and add on to that before we move forward?
Yeah, this is just gonna be like they like to say, this is a bring your lunch pail type of game. So you better pack it and you better bring it with you, and bring that mentality, that you're gonna win every down to this game, because like you said, the Ravens are going to bring it every down. This was like the old school Ravens defense. It was one of the best defenses since that Ravens defense that we've seen with Ray Lewis. So they're bringing it to your front door every play. So you better be ready. And we're going to have a couple teams that's going to do that to us this year. I think them, the Bengals, and the Raiders, I'm going to say for sure we get in their best shot no matter what. So the Chiefs better bring their lunch pail and be ready.
Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, they're going to have to be prepared every week. We know every team is going to come like that, prepared to go, ready to give the reigning defending champs, a L on their schedule. And we have to, remember that, people are tired of us, winning Super Bowls 2 in a row. They're like on a mission to make sure that we don't do this again this year. So I think they will be ready to go. I think they will be able to stop Lamar Jackson. Just hopefully he doesn't have one of those games where he just takes off and there's nothing you can do about that. Jumping into our last topic of this evening, Thursday night predictions. So right there, you see our producer prediction is Chiefs winning 28-24. So we have it in a close matchup, a tight matchup. It could go down to the remaining seconds of the game where someone has to make a big play. What is your score prediction for this opening night matchup against the Ravens? And who do you think will stand out in this game?
I'm going with the Chiefs. 34-21. I think Patrick Mahomes has a good game. I think he shows us that he's back to his regular self. Catch this, throwing over 300, well over 300. I wanted to put him over 350, but that was, I feel like, being super generous. But I think he has a great game against the Ravens. I think he at least gets 2 touchdowns. I say 1 on the ground and 1 through the air. And then I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think Chris Jones shows out. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but Chris Jones didn't play a lot in the preseason. He didn't play a lot in the preseason previously the last couple of years because he was in contract disputes, but that didn't stop Chris Jones from getting off to a hot start. So I think Chris Jones it gets off to a hot start on that defensive side of the ball. So we speaking of just stopping the run, getting to the quarterback, being disruptive, not allowing that team to get into a comfortable third down situation, making it third and long. I think that's when we're going to really be able to see the great Chris Jones and see some guys like George Karlaftis and different guys get in there. And that's just when Steve Spagnuolo is just at his best, when his defensive line is just cooking. So, I think Chris Jones has a super day, and I think Mahomes has a super day. Getting in the end zone with the arm and getting in with his legs. I think he figures out a way to get it done. 34-21 is what I have it.
I got it at 27-20 Chiefs. I'm not going to put them in a 30-point mark yet, even though it is possible with the improvements that we made on the offensive side of the ball this year. But I do have it 27-20. I think both defenses are going to try to limit the big plays on both sides of the ball. So it's really going to be about who's more efficient, who's taking more advantage of their possessions, who's controlling the time of possession, and when they get down into the goal line, are they putting points on the board and not turning it over, or making silly mistakes as in going for it on fourth down and not converting. Now, the players that I think that will stand out on that side of the ball. So for the offense, I'm going to go ahead and go with Rashee Rice. I think going into this next season, dealing with some of his off-season struggles, I think he's going to come out this year and come out in his first game and say, like, hey, I know that I screwed up over the past couple of months after the season was over and after it concluded, but I'm showing you that I am focused on this game and that I'm still playing at a high level. And along with some of the mistakes that I was making throughout the summer, I was actually putting in work as well too. And we saw that with some of the videos that he posted as well too, with Hollywood Brown and also Patrick Mahomes when they was out there in Texas. So I think he has a swell game. I think he can get over 100 yards just being able to pick apart that middle of the defense and also finding, his way in the screen game as well too when they get him the ball quickly and he get upfield, because we know that he's a guy that can be elusive. He know how to wiggle out of situations and be able to find that first down line. And I think he's going to, be our Travis Kelce in this matchup, even though Travis will get his at times as well too. All right. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to go with Justin Reed. I was thinking about it. Justin Reed, he was missing for, pretty much all of the preseason games, right? He didn't play none of the preseason game. He dealt with injury throughout the training camp as well, too. And I think coming into this contract year, being this last year of his deal, I think he has something to prove, and he's going to try to, of course, come out this season on fire, working to get an extension or potentially finding another contract with another team. So I think knowing what happened in that AFC Championship game last year, he did well. He didn't really have no problem, but he got a highlight on Lamar Jackson. Got a highlight on him, and he was near the interception. Lamar caught it, ran it for like 20 plus yards, got a first down, and they was definitely showing that throughout the highlights or when talking about that game on other platforms as well. So I think coming in, he's going to show that he still has control of the secondary. He's the one that keeps everything together. What you saw in the preseason, the reason you saw that because I wasn't out there and I'm the one who keep everything in control, and I'm the captain and I'm the leader on this portion of the on this level of the defense. So I think we should look out for him having a big game. At times he does move up in the box and go after the quarterback. He is great at, getting to the quarterback when he's going in for a sack. So I'm watching out for stuff like that and him getting those opportunities, putting them in long second and third down situations, putting our defense, in rhythm, in that mode of where, okay, we can get them off the field after this next play and we can get our offense out there and they can go attempt to put up more points. But that's my prediction for this upcoming matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. I do think we start out the season with the dub. I think it carries on. We'll talk about that in next week's as well too. But this is how I have it, Lonnie. that's pretty much how I have it. Anything you want to add on to that before we go ahead and close it out?
Yeah, Justin Reed is crazy. I
I
didn't think
know.
he was gonna go there, bro. I didn't, because I didn't know he was hurt. I don't know. Like, and then sometimes these injuries that we see in training camp are like these injuries. Is like, I'm saying that my back hurt, but
I'm
my
chilling.
my back might not hurt when the game
Yeah.
starts. So
It's that
you
veteran
don't really,
privilege,
you
you
can't
know.
really never really tell the difference. So I don't know if the quad injury for Justin Reed was like my quad hurt, because I know Chris Jones, the shoulder. I don't know if that was like it just probably his shoulder was probably hurt, and it probably won't hurt when the game starts. It won't even be questionable. So like, but as you can see, that worked for Chris Jones when he came in last year. No training camp, no nothing. It was almost like he was better. So like, I think it's some gamesmanship to it, but that's for another day.
The conversation, this is what it is. This is the difference between some of these players and then Patrick Mahomes. I know people be like, because you see Aaron Rodgers and those other guys who are veterans, they just be sitting out for pretty much every preseason game. But I think with the Chiefs the last couple years, we had a carousel of wide receivers, and this is more of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes being smart. Like, let's go ahead and get this chemistry done now. Let's not wait until week 1 and then we're trying to find our rhythm, and that'd be the reason why we lose. No, let's just go ahead and get these couple plays in, a possession or two. Let's get it going, and then we'll be good after that. But I think that veteran privilege, but they're putting a title on top of it to where they're not trying to say that these players are being selfish. They're not worried about the game. Like, these coaches, I think as well be thinking like, bro, the system. Nothing is really pretty. It's not changing. Go ahead, at least come in, have the jersey on, watch, at time participate in the individual drills to get your work in and stuff like that. But for this type of situation, you good, we fine. Pretty much, we got all the players on the same side of the ball. A few new additions, so not too much. But that's all we have for this week's episode of Chiefin. So thank you all for watching and tapping in with us and supporting the channel, supporting the show. Before we get off of here, make sure that you look in the description and sign up to be a guest on Clinton's Home of the Chiefs podcast. He has a podcast that's going to be going on every week where he get different fans coming on, or fans of other teams as well too, want to come in on and talk, Chiefs football, talk how they became a fan of the team that they're rooting for, or of course the Kansas City Chiefs as well too, and discuss like topics that will be possibly happening that week as well too. But he is the channel for the people, for the fans. So if you want to get on and talk your talk, make sure you apply. That way you can jump on this show. And once you fill it out, he'll reach out to you, schedule a time to get you on, let you know anything that needs to happen beforehand, and then you'll be good to go. Before we also end as well too, follow us on all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are 3 subscribers away from 200.
Please.
Once we get to 500, we're going to do a giveaway.
A giveaway for sure.
So you can put in your raffle and we'll go ahead and pick on that. So help us get to 500 in total, but we are 3 subscribers away from 200 on YouTube. So tap in. But once again, thank everybody for, always supporting us and tapping in and coming in and talking Chiefs football. And as always, Lonnie, go Chiefs!
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.